I had just won a $30 million jackpot when my phone suddenly buzzed with a strange message. The message warned me that I would have my throat slit in 1 hour. At that moment, my husband was walking toward me, holding a glass of water and some vitamins. I forced myself to stay calm, pretending nothing was wrong as I took the pills. To avoid raising suspicion, I gritted my teeth and swallowed them. Seeing me cooperate, he smiled and said he'd wake his mother so we could all go claim the prize together. The moment I heard his footsteps fade, I rushed into the bathroom, frantically forcing myself to vomit the pills. After spitting them out, I finally breathed again. But then I started to wonder if that message had just been a cruel joke. So I picked up my phone to call my best friend. The next second, I heard her familiar ringtone coming from inside the wardrobe. I followed the sound, opened the door, and a wave of blood stench hit my face. A cold body collapsed at my feet. My hands brushed against warm, sticky blood, and I began to shake uncontrollably. Feeling further inside, my fingers touched a necklace, the one my best friend always wore. And just yesterday, I'd asked to meet her. But my husband told me she had gone on a business trip, so she had already been killed by him. As grief consumed me, I heard him calling from outside. I quickly shoved the body back into the wardrobe, washed my hands clean, and acted as if nothing had happened. Then he helped me into the car, and we set off with his parents to the prize center. On the way, my father-in-law cheerfully talked about buying a mansion, getting a new car, hosting parties, but all I could think about was how to survive. I faked a stomach ache and asked my husband to stop at a service area. When I stepped out, I noticed a police booth near the gate. A spark of hope lit up inside me, but to avoid suspicion, I got back into the car. Secretly, I hid the lottery ticket. A few minutes later, I lied that I'd lost the ticket in the restroom. My in-laws panicked and demanded we turn back. As soon as the car stopped, I slipped out amid the confusion, feeling my way toward the police booth, shouting for help, but no one answered, no matter how many times I yelled. Then my husband's voice came from behind me. His tone was low and cold. He asked if I had found the body. My whole body trembled. I stumbled backward, screaming for help, but he laughed and said there were no police here at all. That was when I realized he had never brought me back to the service area. I fought desperately, tripping and crashing through the dark until I found an abandoned factory. I pulled out my phone to call the police, but he snatched it from my hands. In panic, I grabbed a shard of glass and pressed it against my throat to threaten him. Suddenly, his tone changed. In a hoarse voice, he said he wasn't the one who killed my best friend. It was his father, and the one planning to kill me was also his father. He told me to stay in the car while he went to reason with him. Through the pouring rain, I heard them arguing, then the sound of my husband being struck down. He shouted for me to run. With tears streaming down my face, I fled into a nearby warehouse and hid inside a wardrobe. My phone buzzed again. Another anonymous message appeared. It said my father-in-law was the Raincoat Butcher who vanished 20 years ago. A serial killer who had murdered 18 women, each death staged as a suicide, always striking on stormy nights. I froze, realizing my husband had told the truth. Just then, I heard footsteps outside. My father-in-law's voice echoed through the room, calling my name, laughing coldly, telling me to come out, but I hadn't hidden well, and as a blind woman, I was soon found by him.